Volga Bulgaria, or Volga-Kama buffer, was a historic Bulgar state that existed between the 7th and 13th centuries around the confluence of the Volga and Kama rivers, in what is now European Russia. History, origin and creation of the state. Information from first-hand sources on Volga Bulgaria is rather sparse, as no authentic Bulgar records have survived. Most of our information comes from contemporary Arabic, Persian, Indian or Russian sources. Some information is provided by excavations. It is thought that the territory of Volga Bulgaria was originally settled by Finno-Ugric peoples, including Mari people. The Bulgars of Kubrat's son and appointed heir Babayan Bezma moved from the Azov region in about AD 660, commanded by the Khazar Khagan Kotrag, to whom he had surrendered. They reached Ideal Ural in the 8th century, where they became the dominant population at the end of the 9th century, uniting other tribes of different origin which lived in the area. Some Bulgar tribes, however, continued westward and eventually settled along the Danube River, in what is now known as Bulgaria proper, where they created a confederation with the Slavs, adopting a South Slavic language and the Eastern Orthodox faith. Most scholars agree that the Volga Bulgars were subject to the Khazarian Empire until the mid-10th century, when the Bulgars no longer paid tribute to them. Threat from Khazaria was completely gone after Khazaria's destruction and conquest by Sviatoslav in the late 10th century, after which Volga Bulgaria grew greatly in size and power. Sometime in the late 9th century unification processes started, and the capital was established at Volga City, 160 kilometers south from modern Kazan. Most scholars doubt, however, that the state could assert independence from the Khazars until the Khazars were annihilated by Sviatoslav of Rus in 965. It has been thought during dozens of years that the Abbasid Caliph al-Muqtadir embassy with its secretary Ibn Fadlan reached the Volga Bulgars in the Middle Volga region, but recently the thorough reconstruction of the embassy itinerary revealed the Bulgars' ruler capital was in the village Triprotokar near the modern city of Astrakhan. Therefore, all Ibn Fadlan account is about Bulgars and other people living in the northern Caspian area and Low Volga region. Further statehood: the Bulgarians attempted to convert Vladimir I of Kiev to Islam, however Vladimir rejected the notion of Russians giving up wine, which he declared was the very joy of their lives. Commanding the Volga River in its middle course, the state controlled much of trade between Europe and Asia prior to the Crusades. The capital, Volga, was a thriving city, rivaling in size and wealth with the greatest centers of the Islamic world. Trade partners of Volga included from Vikings, Yarmland, Ugra and Nenets in the north to Baghdad and Constantinople in the south, from Western Europe to China in the east. Other major cities included Bilatswar, Kasan and Kukuta. Modern cities Kazan and Yelabuga were founded as Volga Bulgaria's border fortresses. Some of the Volga Bulgarian cities still have not been found, but they are mentioned in Russian sources. They are Ashli, Tuksin, Ibrahim, Torail. Some of them were ruined during and after the Golden Horde invasion. The Russian principalities to the west posed the only tangible military threat. In the 11th century, the country was devastated by several Russian raids. Then, at the turn of the 12th and 13th centuries, the rulers of Vladimir, anxious to defend their eastern border, systematically pillaged Bulgarian cities. Under Russian pressure from the west, the Bulgars had to move their capital from Volga to Bilar. Decline in September 1223 near Samara. An advance guard of Genghis Khan's army under command of Uran, son of Subutai Bahadur, entered Volga Bulgaria but was defeated in the Battle of Samara Bend. In 1236, the Mongols returned and in 5 years had subjugated the whole country, which at that time was suffering from internal war. Henceforth Volga Bulgaria became a part of the Ulus Jochi, later known as the Golden Horde. It was divided into several principalities, each of them became a vassal of the Golden Horde and received some autonomy. By the 1430s, the Khanate of Kazan was established as the most important of these principalities. Demographics. A large part of the region's population included Turkic or Iranian groups such as Swaz, Basel, Biliz, Baranjars and part of the Burtis. Modern Chuvashs descend from Swaz and Kazan Tatars descend from the Volga Bulgars. Another part comprised Finnic and Magyar tribes, from which Byzantines probably descend. Ibn Fadlin refers to Volga Bulgaria as Sakalabar, which is a general Arabic term for Slavic people. Other researchers tie the term to the ethnic name Scythian. According to some historians, over 80% of the country's population was killed during the invasion. The remaining population mostly relocated to the northern areas. Some autonomous duchies appeared in those areas. Over time, the cities of Volga Bulgaria were rebuilt and became trade and craft centers of the Golden Horde. Some Bulgarians, primarily masters and craftsmen, were forcibly moved to Sarai and other southern cities of the Golden Horde. Volga Bulgaria remained a center of agriculture and handicraft.